There we are. Big snake. Oh.
All right. Is everyone ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
All right. When last we left the band of adventurers, you had journeyed across around a lake from Van Ryken's tower to go and hunt some werewolves, to go check out the werewolf den. After getting the location off of the captured werewolf and letting him run free. You arrived at the werewolf den and got into a pretty hairy fight that looked pretty scary for a while. Managing to come out as the victors, you stand amidst a slew of wolf and human remains piled up around you on the floor near the entrance of this cave. Some of you battered and bruised, some of you feeling better than others. But as it stands, from the immediate danger, the cave seems to fall down to an eerie quietness. You hear the crackle of flames of these torches, and the howl of the wind kind of coming by. And you notice even like every time the wind picks up, there seems to be this howl that comes through as the wind passes through the moor of this wolf head jutted out of the cliff face. What would you all like to do?
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Yeah.
Just real quick.
Relatively hurt and exhausted. I want to find a clean space on the floor somewhere and like kind of set up for a moment to take a short rest and just kind of take a breather.
You walk away from this massacre and find a small space, maybe a few meters away from everything that happened, and you kind of poignantly almost face yourself towards the wall away from it all.
Yeah.
Set up.
And I still want to be within, like, close enough to my allies, like my friends. I don't want to separate myself.
What else? What's everyone else doing? Grangrik.
I will also cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is at my Circle of the Moon spell, and I can do that.
Does it heal you, though? Or would it just heal your form?
Just heal my form, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. If you want to heal you, you'd have to drop form first.
But that's okay because I'm happy to. Because I've only been in this for like a minute or so, so I've got like 59 minutes of this form up.
Jesus.
That's more than that now, isn't it? Amount of hours, half your druid level.
No, I'm pretty sure it's still an hour, unless I'm wrong again.
Have a quick look, because when I was looking through the stuff earlier, I believe I saw half your druid level amount of hours you can have it up for, so you can stay in it for like 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah,
you're right. Permanent snake here.
Occasionally the DM does know what he's talking about.
Permanent snake.
Other than Cure Wounds, we got anything else from you, Sephir?
Checking in with everyone.
And Marlon, what about you? What are you doing?
Marlon is just going to listen super intently on what is coming, being the one that's the least bloodied.
Mm-hmm.
Just be that guard where I'm standing, and listen super intently, looking out both ways, being that that textbook lookout that I would have been so many times on the streets, listening out for anything that may be coming to hurt my friends from inside the cavern.
Roll me a perception check, please.
Perception. It's close to being good. 10.
And yeah, I'll let you guys kind of take the floor with it for a bit, if you like.
I think after Grangrik cures himself a little bit, obviously I can't speak in this form, but I'm gonna start heading to the right. No, sorry, to the left, because I believe that was the direction that I said that I could see things previously. So I'm gonna start slithering towards the
Yeah, it was.
left.
While he's doing that, can I roll a medicine check, or I guess that's not a way to ask it. Can I check myself for bite marks in, especially having that conversation before we left the tower? I would like to look and see how I'm feeling.
Sure. Roll me a medicine check, just to kind of have a look over. I believe
17.
You check yourself over. You are scratched up, and you notice some definite marks. But I think from memory, you feel okay.
Yeah.
It was.
I guess maybe the better way to ask that is like, did we talk about it being specifically bite marks?
I don't think it's been discussed within the party.
So
I don't know if you would know.
Yeah. So that's kind of, I guess, maybe where my mind is like I'm checking my wounds while I'm resting and rolling hit dice and just making sure that
you feel like you've been through a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
You don't feel sickly any more than you kind of would from like the wounds, but you are certainly like, I definitely got bitten by some of these creatures. I hope none of them had anything.
I'll take this while I'm resting, if it's okay. I'm not gonna like study it in a way that would like distract me from resting. But take the spell scroll out and kind of just be reading through the incantation and like just kind of topically browsing that. Considering
the scroll denotes some spell theory that you are somewhat alluded to, but it's like you can make out enough of it to get an understanding of the spell, and it's like you understand what the spell scroll does.
So then they can go off and do what they're doing. I'll take the next hour for my short rest to and just be like praying and looking at that and kind of meditating and doing that stuff. So
we left first thing in the morning to come here, didn't we?
Pretty sure.
Yes.
So
And took a few hours to get here. Oh no, you didn't. Did you leave first thing in the morning? Because you traveled across, came back, and then you guys went over.
But it was in the morning when he started that. So however long that would have taken. Yeah.
So I think it's probably been a bit past midday, maybe by the time you've gotten there, and this has all happened.
Looking down at I'm gonna instinctively follow Grangrik, by the way.
Yep.
As he kind of quivers off. Looking down at the bite mark on my arm, I want to say. I know I would have looked at it when I was bitten, kind of a thing, and then felt some kind of influence. But now that everything's kind of like died down and I can kind of take a proper look at it and like, what does it look like and how do I feel?
Probably a moment there where like everything's happened and like you've cast Cure Wounds and like you're like, okay, yeah, feeling a little bit better, but then you kind of feel this tightness in the arm, and you take off like your greave and like pull up the gambeson, and there's just this bite that seems to linger past what the healing's done, and you can feel this almost presence gripping through you. And it feels like this thing's just like there's this ferocity that you're starting to feel inside. It's
Do I have any idea how long this process might take? What's going to happen in the next couple of hours?
You probably more than most probably understand, like having been a bit of been around with a monster hunter for a fair bit of time. You probably know that you have until the next full moon, and you can always try to resist the transformations, but that it will. If you do that, they are always more aggressive when they do happen.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just follow Grangrik for now.
Yep.
I suppose as I get to this point, I'd see sort of the two directions that we can go, and see that the left side is closed off. I'd just head down that direction just to sort of get an idea as to what's happening over here. See if there's anything.
A 5-foot high stone ledge overlooks a large cave, which has a smouldering campfire in the far west end. The floor is covered in gnawed bones. That is the area that you have walked down.
Any points of interest? Anything worth looking at?
Yeah. I know that where our own goal is to look for these children. So if I don't see those, sort of like either a lead to where the children are over here, I'm going to start heading towards the right hand side.
Okay. As you go through there, it is a maze of torchlit tunnels, and the caves expand. The caves expand in front of you. Bones are laid strewn across the floor throughout the cave. It's about 10 feet high.
I'm squeezing in here then.
Yeah, you're like. Well, you just.
I guess
just
actually, while I'm slithering,
you're just slithering. Yeah.
Basilisk underneath Hogwarts.
Yeah. Through the pipes.
I guess just keep moving forward, checking out sort of any alcoves as I start to move through to make sure that there's not a separate cave pathway that leads off somewhere else. And then eventually sort of getting, I suppose, around to this area here.
So before you get there, once you reach this spot here, looking over to your left into the little cave. Let me just bring up here.
Yep.
You see on the floor a small sleeping werewolf.
A small one.
So when you say werewolf, is that makes me think that he's transformed and sleeping?
Yes.
Interesting.
Where is he?
Just tucked up in the corner, sort of over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making direct eye contact with you. It's like
I can't talk.
I know that's the eye contact.
I suppose just look back at you and then kind of silently slither past.
Just leave it.
Wanting to wake him, yeah.
Roll me a stealth check, both of you, with disadvantage. As you attempt to maneuver your way around a bunch of broken bones. Everyone's got disadvantage on stealth checks in here.
I didn't say that's what I'm doing.
You can just crunch on through then.
Oh, hey there. But that's not a good roll. That'd be a 7.
Yeah. From where you are, it does not seem to wake. Just continues to lay there as you continue on. Where would you like to continue?
Heading this direction before
what if
seeing.
That's one of the kids though. That's been recently
Well, like we've got someone that's short resting near the entrance, and we'll see something of us.
So you
Yeah.
see a curtain in front of you, but as you do that, you can probably also see and hear some faint sounds of children to the right.
As soon as I
Uh,
hear that, I'd be going right
Yep.
for sure.
So rough-hewn stairs lead down to the torchlit cave and a bizarre sight. Wide-eyed children stand behind wooden bars and stare at you, terrified. The cave holds 6 wooden cages, their lids held shut with heavy rocks. 2 of the cages are empty, and each of them holds a pair of frightened children. Crude wooden statue stands between the cages. It bears the rough likeness of a wolf-headed woman draped in garlands of vines and night flowers. Piled around the statue's base is an incredible amount of treasure. A woman in shredded
yeah.
clothes kneels before the statues. Behind the statues, 2 maggot-ridden corpses hang from iron shackles bolted to the walls.
I was like, what are those? What are those? There's a woman there. An actual
There
woman.
is a woman there. Yep, let me get a
Kneeling
figure
at the
for
foot
you.
of the statue.
Knowing Grangrik's in this giant snake form, I'm going to sort of butt Sephir forward.
Oh, I totally forgot. My my steed would have been with me as well.
Yeah, sure. Bring that over.
Hold on, I forgot where. Did he? Oh my god!
I believe there is a direwolf there that you are in
It
control
is.
of.
It's it's a direwolf. That's right. I made it a direwolf.
You know, just to make the fight really clear and easy to
Which one was which?
maintain.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have weird controls on my laptop at the moment as well. I'll move things around. You stay here. I just kind of look at Grangrik and kind of just like point over to the woman, as in like, should I? Do you nod? What do you do, Grangrik? You just keep nudging me forward.
Yeah. I mean,
Just like,
I'm close behind you, but I'm definitely not the one to make, I suppose, contact.
I'll take a few steps forward. Right at my ass.
Yeah.
Don't think you'd be like, I'm gonna order my wolf to stay back here though. It's gonna be confusing for people, maybe.
Without
Just-
turning around, you just hear her say, Is he gone? Did you kill Krill?
Am I speaking to an ally or a capture?
I'm not a capture. Don't know if I'm your ally, but I'm not your enemy.
No, I mean an ally to them.
I have no wish to hold them any longer if Krill is gone.
You were put in charge of keeping the children locked up.
No. I just got sick of fighting for that monster.
Oh, but okay. Well, look. Regardless, they've all been taken care of, as far as we know. We're just searching a little deeper.
She
But
turns around and looks back at you as you say, like, as far as I know, and you can just see tears in her eyes. Please take them if you wish. I will not stop you. And she just turns back to the statue.
Are you afflicted?
I am.
Do you wish not to be?
Perhaps. But that would depend on whether or not I can find Eli. Until I know that he is safe, I will not give up this form and the advantages it may give me. Although I fear him dead. How rude of me. I am Zalika.
Zalika?
Zalika. Zulika. Zulieka. Zalika.
Like Eli, like Eli was.
No, so Zalika. Eli is I think I've probably pronounced this one wrong, so I'm gonna write it differently. Sorry, Emil. Not Eli, Emil. I'm looking at a different person. Emil. Emil. Emil.
Okay. My name is Sephir. I have a druid friend behind me, Grangrik. Currently shape-shifted. I have other allies in this cave, just kind of resting at the moment. There was quite a scene at the near the entrance. We were attacked close to this place, and we obviously prevailed then, and then was told about this place and that there were children here, and we could not ignore such a thing, which is why we are here. Though now that they're safe, if we are currently in our own quest, as it were, but we're not one to turn away from people that need help also.
You would help me after the things I've done. That is awfully kind of you, sir. It matters little.
It matters little.
Emil was taken to Strahd for standing up against Krill when he took on Strahd's will and his ownership, so to speak. I fear him lost. Killed by Strahd in some way. But here I pray for maybe a miracle. The Night Mother may still work in strange ways, and while I maintain this curse, she is my god. So maybe she will help. I have little faith in anything else. But
a common enemy we have a common enemy in Strahd. And if it's trying to rescue Emil, or if it's just revenge you seek, we could be of help to each other.
Perhaps, but I am not one that I think you want in your company. My outbursts may be unpredictable. I think it's best I go take myself somewhere where the only people I can harm are those who may deserve it.
I understand that more than you know. Well, I appreciate you letting us take these children without resistance and wish you the best.
And to you, especially if you're going after that bastard. I wish you luck, and thank you for your kindness. He's foreign in these parts. And she leaves, kind of walks away, doesn't really take anything with her.
What direction is she heading?
She walks back out this way, and when she gets to probably up to the stairs,
Yeah.
or close to the stairs, she says back, "There's a boy. I do not wish to take him where I go. He sleeps in one of the previous chambers. He should not be left afflicted if you can help it. He is only a child and does not deserve what happened to him."
She sees me nod.
She then continues to walk off.
Does she walk off to the right, or does she go sort of left?
I think from where you guys are, I don't know if you can see, but she does go up to the right. From if you are trying to pay attention, she goes up to the right.
Okay. And then as soon as she leaves, what I would like to do is see if I can try and... when you said the rocks are what are holding the cages down, so there's no sort of front entrance, it's a rock that's on the top of the cave.
On top of the cage.
On top of the cage. Can
yeah,
I...
Picture Woody in Toy Story with a toolbox on top of a plastic crate.
Can I try and use my technically huge form to try and move these rocks?
Easy enough. It's not. I don't even think it needs to be a roll. It's easy enough to get these rocks moved, and you can and the children kind of look, especially at your form, as you kind of slither up and knock over the rock, and they look even more terrified. Every single time you approach, there is like a whimpering cry from them.
As soon as I remove the final rock of the cages that actually have children in them, I'll drop my wild shape and revert back to Old Man Grangrik.
Okay.
And
cool.
After I remove the last rock and I'm standing sort of in front of... Are they able to get out themselves, or do they need someone to help them out?
You can just easily kind of lift up the cage enough that they can get over. While this is all going on, I just want to check back in. Marlon and oh gosh, I apologize.
Leo.
Leo. Marlon and Leo. What are you? Leo, you're still resting. Marlon, what are you up to?
I'm just sort of hanging with Leo, I guess.
Okay.
Probably we're just probably shooting the breeze. I did want to go have a look at all the bodies the pile of bodies that were there and see what it is we could find if we hadn't done that already. I don't believe we've done that.
Before you we've been kind of maybe talking about nothing, just pleasantries up to the point. I noticed that you're about to get up, and Leo's expression kind of changes a little bit, and wrinkles her forehead, and she's like, Merlon, I wonder. Towards the end of that combat there, against the group of them, there was a moment you had that when Grangrik was, I feared for the worse. You called his bluff. How did you know?
I didn't. All I saw was my friend, and the thought of losing another friend on this journey. I didn't want to go through that again, and I wasn't just going to leave him. I figured that he probably wasn't going to just let me take him. I sure as hell wasn't just going to leave him here to die. So I took a chance. Was it the smartest move? Probably not. I'm glad it worked out. But
me too.
I didn't know that. In that moment, all I wanted to do was make sure that he was up and about, and I didn't.
Well,
yeah.
Nothing we do comes without significant risk. But I would ask, in the kindest way possible for the future, please don't gamble our lives. I know you had a rough upbringing, and I think that the fear of losing someone is very powerful, and I can see that in you. Just be careful. And she'll go back to kind of like flicking the edge of the tattered scroll and looking it over and stuff.
Merlon, do you then go off to do some kind of...
Yeah, I'll start rifling through the bodies.
Yep. So in amongst all of at that, as you kind of ponder through everything and kind of go through, there's not much other than what's on Krill and what was on the older gentleman who had the flute. You find an electrum flute, which seems to be incredibly well made. You don't know how much it's worth, but you estimate that it would be. It seems like quite a pricey item. He also had a pouch with 4 gemstones, and each one, by your estimation, from being around, would be close to 50 gold pieces each.
Oh, damn. As I see you pick up the flute, I'll kind of from across the room. Could you play us a tune?
I will put the flute to my mouth and I'll try and play a tune.
Do you think you've ever played a flute before?
No.
I would like you to roll a performance check with disadvantage, please.
I don't believe. I'm just trying to.
I don't think you have. I don't think Marlon would have ever touched a flute. Maybe you've touched a lute, but I doubt you've ever touched a flute.
Yeah. Yep. Disadvantage is probably fair.
Marlon the flautist.
wanna?
Yeah, the disadvantage made a difference. 7.
7.
7.
Okay, you hear what could be likened to a year 1 recorder class.
Just noise. Just straight noise.
There is noise. There is different notes being struck as Marlon kind of loosely plays with the buttons on the side, but not really knowing the order in which to press them. There is a discordant kind ofness, and then there's one point where he definitely presses one that isn't a note, and there's this kind of piercing screech that kind of rings through, and there's like this, and he kind of reflexively pulls it away.
I'm gonna work on this. Leave it with me. I'm gonna work on this.
I think a little practice would go a long way, to be honest.
Yeah.
Didn't that old guy play it shitty too? Maybe not that way.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Going over to Krill's body,
Yep.
you find in his pocket a smooth black stone, reminiscent to from what you know of as ascending stone. You find a giant cleaver, which you cannot like. It is too big for you to comfortably lift. And then as you're kind of looking at things, and as he's reverted back to a man now, you see embedded into his chest a large ruby.
God.
I'm gonna remove the ruby.
I would like you to make a kind of a dexterity check to kind of try to get it out.
Given that I am masterfully dexterous.
Yep.
Can I have advantage, please?
No, because your masterful dexterityness is shown by your plus whatever it is to your sleight of hand.
It's plus.
Yeah,
okay. So can I use?
It
my
is sleight of hand. Yeah.
Can I use my sleight of hand? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That's what I will let you do.
Okay, cool. Far out. This dice rolls this morning tonight. Wow. 13.
Okay.
I don't have a reliable chant yet because we haven't.
Haven't long rested. It takes a bit of effort, but you manage to pry off this stone, and you do make a bit of a mess of it. What do you do with it? You do manage to get it out.
I'll clean it up. I'll remove all the human bits off of it. Can I look at it and
sure?
Does it give
roll
off
me a
magical hue? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll me a wisdom save.
Oh shit.
Just waiting for that.
What are we going to come back to?
Oh, fuck me. 8.
You. How long do you reckon it would be until you would look back over at Marlon, Leo?
I think he was carving something out of someone's chest.
I mean, I was probably just looking up and checking in with him. I mean, every few minutes. So
yeah, so he doesn't reply once, and then you kind of look, and he's just holding the same pose.
What's that? Do you have something I need to look at?
No reply.
Marlon?
Nothing.
So I think to myself that I remembered him getting viciously bitten too, and I'll roll the scroll up and get up quickly and hurry to him. And from kind of arm's length, or if I can get close enough, I'll reach out and just touch his shoulder.
You reach out and touch his shoulder, and there seems to be no reaction. As you approach, you can see him just sitting there, and he's just cradling this gem. And he's just standing there, and he's just staring at it. There's just this, and there's almost a hollowness behind his eyes, but all his focus is on this gem. I'm going to come back to you guys on that in a bit.
My precious.
We'll jump back to Sephir and Grangrik.
Yeah, so
So-
after I have removed the stone and transformed back into old Grangrik form, and sort of opened up the lid, allowing the children to start to be, allowing them to be able to get out if they want to, I'll, from the other side of the cage, say, I'm sorry for my scary form. It is an ability of mine, much like these werewolves in here, but I am not a bad person. We're trying to get you out. If you want to come with us, we can take you back to what's the town called?
Which one? Valakai?
Valakai?
Valakai. We can take you back to Valakai.
One of them it kind of seems a little bit older, so that they range in ages from, you think, probably around 6 to 11.
Okay.
And one who seems maybe at about 11, the oldest one there, is a young girl. And she's like, okay. I don't know where that is, but if it's away from here, yes, please.
Where are you from?
I'm from Waterdeep.
Oh, you're not even from Barovia. I can't remember anything at the moment.
Where? No, I'm not.
Well, the closest town to where we are at the moment is Valakai. We have some friends there who at least will be able to help us. And then, to be honest, your home is much closer to where we are from. We are also from the Sword Coast, and we are also not sure how we got here as well. But we are doing our best to get back to the Sword Coast. So,
Okay.
after we have taken care of what we need to, perhaps we can take you back to your homes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's
While
get
we're
out.
chatting with
Let's
them-
go ahead.
There you go. There you go.
I was just gonna. Let's get everyone out of the cages, and we'll start to make our way back to the entrance, and then we can head back to Valakai.
I was going to go investigate the statue that Zulika was getting at, and the stuff around.
It is a statue, a kind of crudely made statue of the Mother Night. Sorry, not Night Mother, the Mother Night. And around its base is a lot of treasures. You can see what looks like a few thousand copper pieces, a lot of silver, and a lot of gold pieces as well. Hundreds of silver and you would guess well over 100 gold pieces. A lot of gemstones, ranging in sizes. A bunch of jewelry, and then an electrum sensor with platinum filigree written on it. It's all, and looks like there is a lot of value in what's in front of this.
Oh, what? An electrum?
It says sensor. I think that's like a I'm imagining it's like almost like a bowl or a cauldron that you would hang over something. I think they are.
Can I fill that with if it's a bowl? Can I like fill it with these gemstones and stuff?
Yeah, if you would like, you can. I will say, being from Barovia, you know, and I'll give you. Actually, roll me a religion check for me, please.
Religion. Why is my religion suck? More intelligent. Oh, nat 20. Okay. -1.
Okay. I'll give you the nat 20. You know that the Mother Knight
This is gonna be-
has to do with curses. And you
For that 20.
kind of as you sit there and take in the surroundings, you find it odd that there seems no protections around this, as much as there was a lot of things out the front. As you kind of reach for it, there's this nagging part of you that is skeptical about just grabbing it. You can do with that what you will, but
Yeah, I don't think Sephir's a loot goblin anyway. That's more me than him. I'll just admire it.
okay, no worries.
That's a lot
Take
of
a
money.
mental picture.
All right, so you come back, and as you kind of come back, kind of leading this group of children, what do you do about the sleeping child, by the way?
Yeah, I turn to Grangrik and I say, look, I can't remember. Obviously, I'm aware that I've been bitten, and I knew someone else had been bitten, and it sounds like it was Merlon.
No, it was me.
It was you.
Yeah.
I thought so. I thought maybe.
Marlon was.
Would I be
bitten,
aware of that yet? God.
I don't know if you would have seen you.
I
You may
can't
have seen
remember
you've probably seen that everyone got bitten. You don't know who may have been taken by the
Right,
affliction.
because we can be bit. Yeah, okay.
'Cause you can be bitten
I
without
kind
taking
of-
it. So they don't know that if you've got it. You don't know if they've got it because you guys haven't actually had that kind of conversation to say like,
Yeah.
I do or don't.
As I imagine, like the eldest child as well in here is kind of helping the other ones, or just like instinctively and kind of helping us gather them up. I kind of pull Grangrik aside, and I'm like, you were in your snake form, but you saw that that sleeping werewolf on the
I
way
did.
in here, right?
I did.
Yeah. You heard Zulika mention
I did.
that werewolf.
And I'm unsure as to how he's going to react if and when we wake him up, as well as if he has the ability to even change back. He may not have control over his abilities.
I know that we have the scroll of remove curse. I'm not sure about you. I was bitten during that last fight, and I fear that it's something that I'm going to have to deal with.
As he says that, I look down at the bite on my shoulder. Do I see anything or feel anything?
Is someone kind of familiar with curses and that kind of thing, probably
Proficiency
from
in
your
medicine as well.
Yeah, like you kind of you understand what he's talking about, and you're like, yeah.
As you can probably see, I also was bitten, and I fear I may also be now afflicted. So, as much as these children may all be in the same boat as us, and even that child in the other room, it does seem that we may not have the resources to fix all of this at once.
With the and Sephir being paladin and being around monster hunters and blah blah blah. Once someone's been bitten and like changed, like has been through their first transformation and whatever, would I be aware that having a scroll of remove curse, would that fix him, this kid?
I think your knowledge probably goes deep enough that you know that a scroll can definitely fix it. You've heard that. Roll me a, let's say, history or survival. Take your pick. to kind of pick which. Roll another nat 20. All right,
Well,
all right then.
He's got all the good rolls because I've rolled garbage so far.
Buddy.
Actual?
I could
Amazing.
it's
You don't
so
need a
hard
card. I'll believe it. That's amazing, dude. Fantastic. So you kind of think back to these lessons and things that you've been taught by Van Ryken, and this memory comes back to you that says, those that can't be cured are those born with it.
Okay.
Or the hardest to cure are those born with it. And you kind of get this feeling that as long as this kid wasn't born into the curse, something like a remove curse should be able to cleanse him.
I kind of imply to Grangrik that through whatever wording you imagine that basically we've only got one scroll of remove curse. I think we've all been bitten. Who knows how many of us are afflicted? I'm basically suggesting that I would always be willing to use this scroll on this kid, whether or not it's going to work or not. Like we're adults, we'll figure it out. We're here to help these kids. I want to, at least try to approach this kid and see if we can use the scroll on him and just kind of gauge his reaction from that, basically.
If that's what you think, I'm willing to be on board. Can I this is a little bit meta-ish. Can I recall my history on paladins?
Sure, if you want to. You can roll some stuff. What are you trying to do? You trying to figure out if
I'm trying to work out if paladins have access to remove curse as a spell.
Sure. Roll me a Arcana check.
Arcana
to
check?
know whether or not that spell kind of fits within their
17.
Now I've got to find out, is it?
Yes, remove curse is a paladin curse.
So you know that paladins can have powerful paladins have the ability to cast it.
Okay.
Joel, you check the
What is
messages.
this like? What is this like an insight check to whether or not you think I'm only comfortable with this because I know I can heal myself or something?
It was actually going to be more of a teaching moment to possibly Sephir, as Grangrik is quite old, and he would have probably come across a few paladins in his time against the Sword Coast.
Can you roll me an insight check, actually, Ben?
Sure. Pretty insightful.
Are you smiling, Dale?
19.
I'm a happy man. Am I not allowed to be a happy man?
Yes, you are. Very allowed.
Smirk behind the stash. As I was kind of talking about, we should help this kid, and I feel like if a few of us have been bitten, then we'll find a way to figure it out. I sounded too at ease with it, like maybe I've already got a solution, or I'm not too worried. Like there was a kind of confidence in it.
Okay.
Just, yeah.
Cool.
That's why.
I think Grangrik would perceive that and sort of acknowledge it and say, "Sure, let's help this child." And what I think we should do is to maybe not let the other children see.
I agree.
Their possible friend in his current form. I will lead them back to the entrance via the way that doesn't show the entrance of the other way. So I'll sort of lead them down this direction.
Yeah.
All right. You take them back. As you get back, you come across Leo kind of sitting there with Merlon as Merlon stares just in awe of this crystal. We'll come to that in a second. Sephir, are you waking up the child?
Yeah.
So,
Because I have a dire wolf with me, I'm gonna try to use that to an advantage, almost to like, not just I consciously I have, my companion with me who is a dire wolf. Just because it's not out of place.
So he's with you as you wake up. As the boy awakens, you can see that in his hand he is holding a small doll. And as you kind of approach and go to wake, you notice it looks eerily like Leo.
Okay. I'm not
But
gonna.
like a little bit odd, and attached to a small tag that you can see coming off of it, you see is no fun, is no Blinsky.
Huh? Can you repeat that?
The doll maker in Valakai.
What?
Is no fun, is no Blinsky. Which you may or may not know is the name of a toy maker in Valakai. The rest of the party have met him. You don't know who that is, but that is there is a doll.
Is that the one that make a doll for Ismark or whatever is Isek? Isek.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. Well, I mean, I was in that. I know about that town. I might know that there's a toy maker in town.
You know that there was a toy maker in town. I don't know whether or not you make the connection. But you wake him, and he sees you, and there's this kind of like, and he sees the wolf, and he's like, "Are you? Who are you?"
I want to make sure that
maintaining his form.
Yeah, as I wake him, I'm gonna have like my wolf like sitting, or like kind of like lying, and me like kind of squatting down, kneeling down, and like like nothing in my hands, weapon not drawn, obviously, and whatever. And just like that's okay. My name is Sophia. Do you know Zulika?
Yes. Yeah. Are you?
Yes. Well,
are you part of the? Are you part of the pack?
No. I am here with my friends. This is my pet wolf here. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Can you fix me?
We heard that there were children like you here, and that's what we're hoping to do. The other children, we aren't sure if they're like you yet. But if it's only you, I think there's a good chance. Sorry, if you don't mind me asking, when did you first take this form?
This is an interesting part. I would like anyone, to roll me a d20. Re-roll on 15 and above.
Jamie, do it.
You guys can't figure out what I'm doing.
This is going to be a guaranteed 2. Holy shit, almost was 8.
Okay. I transformed 8 days ago.
Okay.
We have time.
If that was a 14, things are going to get real interesting.
That's good news. Look, if you're willing to come with us, I know you don't know me, but we're taking the other children to the closest city that we came from, and yeah, we're here to help if you're willing to come with us.
Yes, please. Yes. Please help.
Yeah.
He kind
Does he seem
kind of-
kind of weak or?
He doesn't seem weak. He just seems scared.
Who's a
And as he
child?
approaches, what he says is, I'm the only one left. The others, well, I know there's the ones that just arrived, but of the others, I'm the only.
Yeah. God, we need to like cover these kids' eyes and not walk them through the massacre. Like, how? Well, it's traumatic as fuck. All right.
Grow up real quick.
Yeah. Look, I suggest that he. Is he small enough to kind of like get on my direwolf and like?
Yes, he is. He is like,
Yeah.
although he is like a werewolf, he looks
Yeah.
like a 10-year-old werewolf. He is like
Okay. Wolf boy.
like
Horrifying.
yay. He is yay high.
Point of question.
He is this.
Were there any, and I don't remember if you described them this way, or maybe you did and I didn't hear, but any of the rest of the werewolves that we encountered earlier, were there any smaller? Okay.
No. And like from what's reverted, it all seems like the youngest there might be 19.
Sure.
A teenager,
An adult,
but
still,
not a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
I tell him to
Make us good children.
I mean, it kind of
jump onto my direwolf, just kind of like bear hug my direwolf and not open his eyes until we're outside. And I tell him to, just because there are some things that he shouldn't see on the way out, basically.
So it takes you a little bit longer to get there. We will now come back to the others. Marlon,
Can I make a saving throw?
not just yet.
Okay. Okay.
You find yourself in a surrounded by red mist.
Cool.
And in there, you find, standing in front of you, a large, imposing figure with pale skin and dark hair. He turns around. Well, you're not quite what I was expecting. Marlon, is it?
You know my name. Would you be so kind as to share yours?
Strahd von Zarovich.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure it's a pleasure for you to meet me.
I mean, sure. Yeah, why not?
I take it this means you have disposed of Krill?
At the sake of
Master,
making
I'm
it
sure
really
I will
bad.
hear of it soon. So, why did you pick up the gem?
You know, I'm asking myself the same question. It's I think it probably goes back to my younger days of, you know, being a scavenger and seeing
my
something
God.
shiny and picking it up.
Yes, well, by the way, you were still in your shifted form?
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
As you realize in your talking, you realize you are not
yeah. Human,
currently.
yeah,
Like
cool, yeah,
within
cool,
this, you
yeah,
are not.
yeah, cool,
You are just
yeah,
in your
cool,
human form.
yeah, yeah.
Well, this is getting rather tedious. You and your friends meddling in my affairs constantly. I would have thought Krill would have been enough, but perhaps things need to be more direct. You're welcome to come by any time. I believe I have a acquaintance of one of your friends here with me. Actually, some dangerous woman by the name of Esmeralda, I think it goes by. I'm sure Van Ryken and Sephir would be glad to know she's being very well taken care of. Then again, from what I was whispered throughout the day, Van Ryken may have his own spot of bother to deal with. And I'll leave you to find that out on your own. You can keep the gem. It's not worth much to me anymore. And he flicks his hand and you see all the mist enshroud you, and all of a sudden you're back and everyone is just like almost standing around you. I don't know, kind of Sephir's coming back from the distance, and everything is just this haze of red that starts to slowly fade back in, and in that time you have reverted back into your normal form. And you sit there holding this gem that almost seems to crumble away into dust in your hands.
Are you okay?
Merlon, are you okay?
Holy shit! No, yeah, I'm okay. Am I back? I'm back.
You never left.
Well, maybe in your mind.
Agree. Disagree.
Where's Sephir? Where is Sephir?
He's coming over now.
I
Sephir.
would be approaching, I guess.
I just spoke to Strahd.
What?
Yeah, he was.
What?
He was in the gem.
In the gem.
I was it was mine stuff. I don't know. Like, I was here and then I was picking this up and I looked at it and all of a sudden everything was red around me, and then I was talking to this pale, dark-haired dude who was super smug, and I wanted to punch him in the face and throw daggers at him, and I didn't. And they're questioning why I picked up the gem the entire time, and then he's like, "Oh, I've got Esmeralda," like just some like wanky guy, like. And then he told me that Van Ryken's in trouble too. Like, we have to go now. He could be playing tricks on my mind.
Yeah.
What about Van Ryken? What?
Apparently, Van Ryken. This is the thing. We're taking. I was just in my own head, right? Van Ryken apparently has found himself in a spot of bother, according to the slimy, pale dude, dark head, slimy fuck.
I mean, that sounds.
And he said he has.
And he also said he has Esmeralda.
That sounds awful and all. But
didn't see proof of life. I didn't see proof of him actually doing that. But
what does he have to gain by telling us these things?
He said that he's sick of us he's sick of us meddling in his affairs, and he wanted to be a little bit more direct.
So
it sounds like he's taken the first punch.
Leverage.
Provoking an attack from us.
He's yeah. There
Well,
was no time limit. There was no.
I think the first thing we need to do is get these children back to Valakai as fast as we can.
Because that'll help us to confirm whether Van Ryken's.
Do you have a way of speaking to Van Ryken, or do we have a from here? Like, I mean, can we check in a way?
I guess that's a no.
Take that as no.
I think that was directed at you.
I guess we.
No, but I was like looking at that.
And then he was looking at that. He was looking at me to be like, "Do I?"
I don't think so.
I mean, What?
I think it's too secretive to have open communication.
Whatever trouble Strahd is bringing to Van Ryken, we're days away from Valakai. But I guess we should hurry.
It's the best we can do at the moment, or when I don't see another way of being able to travel far enough. I mean, I can carry one or two, maybe, but even then I'm going to be quite slow. I can only do it for so many hours.
I have a way to carry a few as well, but again, it would be slow.
Yeah, I think
no faster than me walking.
I tend to go back and check that other area, the stairs that Zulika went into. There's like another area, but we can't really be.
I don't know that I can be. I mean, did I get a short rest in? Get some health back?
Yes. Yeah, you got your short rest, you got your spells back, you got you're topped off with whatever you need from a short rest.
I mean, I am feeling much better, but I don't know that it would be smart to go too far tonight. Maybe to the tower and stay in the tower, and then
I think we should get back to the tower. I agree.
If we're looking to transport these kids, now that I know, well, I can only assume that Strahd is not lying and he has Esmeralda, then he is in no need of her wagon at the moment, and we could potentially use that.
Well, it sounds like we need to get back to the tower, so...
Do the kids look capable enough to walk on their own? Like we feel comfortable of them being able to get back to the tower from here?
You get the feeling that they wouldn't go anywhere. You weren't.
Oh, yeah. Sure, but like they wouldn't not be able to walk there.
Yeah, they can walk with you. They will go with you, but they won't like they. You get the feeling like that they are
somewhere.
You can't send them somewhere.
Yeah, no. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But they're not going to slow us down at a normal
walking
pace.
It'll be a walking pace. You'll be at a regular walking pace. Yeah. You can't hurry children to a great extent.
Well, so you said how many was there? 7? 8 with the one that was sleeping?
9 with the one that was sleeping.
How many of them are below sort of 9?
3.
So I can probably carry 1 or 2 on my back as a saber-toothed tiger.
I would say you can carry 2 small children.
2 small children.
Can carry the other one.
I think we'd be able to move them and then keep it a faster pace.
You can keep it at a half decent pace. Yeah, you've still got to rest. They're kids.
Yeah.
Well, let me try this, and I will sit down. Give me 10 minutes.
Do we want to check the other part of the cavern here, or like the other way?
I'm going to stay with the children.
Okay. I'm going to fly down this other side and just have a look.
Yep. So you're flying around. Let me bring up... Sorry, I've got multiple things on. Are you going around the back to have a look? Or where are you going to... Sorry.
Like go right at the fork. Sorry, I can't actually...
At the first fork?
Yeah.
At the first fork? Yep, no worries. Let me bring up the...
While you do that, while Leo is ritually casting something, I'm also ritually casting my Find Familiar back.
A gash in the rocky ceiling allows grey light and cold drizzle from the outdoors to seep into this dank, torchlit cave where an underground spring forms a pool of water roughly 40 feet across and 10 feet deep. A 5-foot high ledge on the north overlooks the pool. A similar ledge spans the eastern wall, and a rough-hewn staircase leading up to it. A few crates sit atop the eastern ledge, and that's all I've got.
Oh, I just
The
have a
crates
quick
contain some
suss.
food and stuff.
Okay. Can I have a quick suss through have a deeper look in the crates, or it's just food and stuff?
You have a bit of a look. It seems like it's a general supply area.
Yep.
There's some
Alright.
clothing, a few basic weapons, some spears, a bow, and some arrows.
I might grab the extra clothing
Yep.
for the kids, and do they look hungry? Like, obviously you can tell when a child
Yeah, they probably they do look.
I'll probably grab
It's
some of
mostly
the food,
cured
like
meats.
grab a sack of cured meats, or grab some
Yep.
and then bring it over to the kids, and they can have
Yep.
a munch while these guys are doing their ritual casting. Can I have a look, look in the pool and stuff? Is there anything in the pool that would suggest it's not a normal pool, or?
It just seems like a normal pool.
Would you like
And
to
how big's
drink
the
some of it?
Kraken? No.
Wisdom saving throw, please.
Can I? Is the crack in the ceiling? Is that big enough for me to fit through?
Not in this form.
Did you say Kraken?
It
So
is.
I have
It is a small space.
Right. That's
Kraken
fine.
in the
I
ceiling.
will take the food and the clothing.
Actually, you are small. It is small enough for you.
Yeah, cool.
You are still small.
I'll take the stuff to the kids so they
Mhm.
can have a munch, and
Would
they
you-
can put some extra clothes on so they're nice and warm and everything.
Yeah.
And then I'd just like to do a quick investigate up the top throughout the crack and just out above and see
Yep.
if there's anything I can see outside of the
Well,
Across the top of the cliff face.
I was gonna say about
You
the
go.
time. I mean, it's only 10 minutes, so like about the time you returned with the food and clothes, you would see like this this round of like glade rock lift from the ground, and I'll start helping kids get on top of it, and I'll say, this lasts for an hour. It can help us. It'll stay with me as long as until an hour. So whatever you're going to go check out, just meet back up with us as soon as you can.
Yep.
And it will hold up to 500 pounds, and it's a 3-foot diameter rock, and it will follow me for an hour. And it can't like cross open gaps. Essentially, anything that's further like a 10-foot pit, it can't like hover.
But it'll just follow.
over it.
Cool.
Just follows me.
I think I think as much as it's like 3 foot's not huge. I think most of the kids can probably fit on that, and they're not going to be particularly heavy as children. So you can probably get a few of the kids with the ones on there on that, and the only one that maybe can't fit is the little werewolf child, who is probably seems a lot more capable than everyone else.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't done anything yet, but
Yeah. Well, while Marlon was out, and we've got all the kids out the kind of the front, I'm guessing, away from the massacre inside. I would have pulled Grangrik aside again with Leo, just to kind of Grangrik's aware of this, but to fill Leo in on like what happened back there, what Zulika said, and the kids, and this boy being possibly a boy being a werewolf for the past like 8 days, and I'll let Leo know that I've been bitten and it feels serious, although I feel like I have an answer for it, and maybe anyone else has been bitten as well. But for this kid, I strongly suggest, or I request, that we use our one remove curse scroll to help this kid.
What's the risk of him staying like this for now or for a while?
Outside of it being a traumatic experience, what's the use of not using the scroll now? Or do you suggest we use it on something else?
Well, I mean, I spent a little time with it before. I was trying to study the incantation and potentially figure out a way to do something a bit more permanent with it. But what is your solution for yourself? And I guess Grangrik.
Having grown up around, simply put, monster hunters, I know that Rudolph has a way to fix this. So now, if Strahd is telling the truth and Rudolph is in trouble, it wouldn't feel right to use the scroll on one of us and then this kid be permanently afflicted. I'd rather risk myself. I can't speak for anyone else who's been bitten, but I would rather risk myself than let this boy suffer, maybe permanently, for the rest of his life, however long that may be.
I admire your empathy. However, things that change us, sometimes for the worst, and the two of you look at you and Merlon and you, Sephir, should know better than any of that. No, Sephir.
Grangrik, not Marlon. Marlon's not here.
Oh yeah, he dipped. Yeah, but Merlon and you, Sephir, should know more than any about things that change us and how that can make us much better than maybe we've ever thought we could be ourselves. At least in some way. I don't pretend to know how miserable some moments are. I don't know if there comes with any downside, I guess, but if he's not at risk of dying from this disease, and it gives him the capability to defend himself, to protect himself, do you know if this affliction corrupts their mind to a point where they know only evil and only harm, and can there be any good that comes of this?
There is great. There is an urge, a hunger, a temptation for a young mind, for a child. I don't think he would be able to resist like any one of us could. Could end up hurting innocent people, his own friends and family.
I'll make a deal if we make it back to Valakai. And by the time I make it back to Valakai, potentially I can have understood this well enough to know this spell myself. I don't want to use it right here in this moment, if that's okay.
I can agree to that. I think the most important thing to do at the moment is to just start moving.
Yes, agreed. The tower is incredibly safe. With its magical field of whatever nature that is, I feel like if Strahd is not completely powerless there, he is a lot less powerful there. His reach isn't as far into that tower. Let's get there.
So you all begin to head off. Marlon will catch up with you in not long. Marlon, looking around on top, the only thing that you note is a second entrance to the cave system. And at the top near that entrance, you see a circle of stones with a bunch of bloodied, a bunch of spears that have dried blood on the end of them. And there is remains of what look like. I hate this. Smaller people.
Okay. I'll make a note of that, and I will go and try and find the others.
You catch up to them easy enough, flying overhead. It's easy enough to catch up, and you see a floating stone with some children on it, and some other children riding on the backs of a couple on Grangrik and one on the companion as well. And you all make your way back. It takes a few hours to get back. The stone does eventually drop. However, it has given them a bit of relief.
Take the time too, but it'd just be whether we take that 10 minutes to recast it.
You probably gather it'll be quicker if you just kind of kept going at this point. It doesn't move faster, and the kids are would rather be out of this wood and out of this area as quick as possible. Especially since you've said that you'll get them somewhere safe. By the time the afternoon begins to come around, and the sun starts to get a little lower, you have reached the tower. You get back there, and it all seems as you left it. There are a few bodies on the floor around the area, but you can kind of move around it or send someone ahead to clear the way a little more. Try not to scar the children more than necessary. But you come back. The wagon is still there, and the tower is still there in its same state.
To empty the wagon again.
I think Grangrik's first thought would be to sort of just usher the children onto the elevator and just get them up into the top floor of the tower.
I'm going to stay with the kids as well.
Yeah, no worries. You stay with the kids. You do your good old dance routine and almost in front of the door, and get inside to and say up, and the golems take you up, and there's almost this look of like fear, but almost a little bit of wonder in the eyes of some of the kids who might dare to look a little brighter. What is everyone else doing?
Would Sephir have spoken to me around moving the are we going to move the cart? Is that what? As we would have approached the tower, I would have instinctively, kind of walked back to the wagon to just kind of have a think about what we're going to do. If you kind of approached as well. I'm probably flying. To be honest, I'm probably flying above it, overhead, just sort of being overwatch, just making sure everyone's okay. As we were coming back, I was probably just flying up, getting
every now and then Leah looks up and flips you off.
Yeah, probably just.
It's our hand signal. Yeah, I'm good.
Flip the bird.
I'll try and poop on it. So yeah, I'm probably flying above her head, and as I'm flying around, around in a circle above. At this stage too, I would have moved into my raven form, so that I'm not just some giant hybrid man flying around a circle of the tower. And just keeping an eye out, I would have seen, Sephir standing over. I probably would have come down.
Yep.
Now, I can understand in my raven form, but I can't speak in my raven form, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So
but I believe you also have mimicry, so...
I was going to say, not even like a kinku?
I think...
I don't... Actually, no, you don't have mimicry. You can make sounds, but not... But not copy people. It's not
out
mimicry.
Of that's the were raven side of things. But I think as a raven form, I just can't speak. I just come down and sit on the wagon like.
I
love that your noise gate kept it from coming through.
Yeah.
Still
I did it again.
Do it again.
I don't know if mine's coming through.
Yours is coming through.
Yeah, I can hear yours.
Jamie's is not.
Jamie's just.
No.
Okay. Anyway, Sophia, what would you like to do? We'll keep on track and try to get through as much as we can.
Jamie looks like he's trying to feed baby birds.
Don't mama me that cookie.
As I had to talk to a fucking snake, a bird. Can a human just talk to me for once? Talk to a werewolf boy.
Are you saying? Do you actually say this?
No.
Oh, okay.
As you fly down, I'm I just kind of like laugh and like look at you and just like, you know what we have to do if we want to use this wagon, right?
Just as a bird, like you see, because I still understand. You see this little wing go cover his face, like just like
Dad.
Crow dad.
That came through. That was good.
So I'll transform into
Transform.
I mean, that sounds a little bit
Marlon.
sexual, man. Like,
Transform.
let's go.
I'll transform into a semi.
Transform.
Transform.
You transform into your hybrid form or your human form?
Human. I transform
Human,
into my
okay.
human form and be like, yes, I understand what needs to be done.
Is that our party name, the Transformers?
The transfer.
Oh Jesus, it might be. It might be. That's not
Who
bad.
doesn't have the only person that doesn't have the ability to is
Unlike
you,
It's
Leo?
Leo.
But no, but Leo can
In a
polymorph,
way.
can't she?
I mean, I can disguise self.
Oh, it does go. Okay. The transformers are
Everyone's,
like
everyone's transforming, and Leo's like putting on hat and makeup.
I just look like a different person.
Leo and the
Ah.
Transformers.
Yeah.
It's like a band name.
Transformers.
Josie and the Pussycats.
I transform
Yeah.
back into a human
Yeah.
form, and I'll go in underneath the hatch, and I'll start to move.
Easy
all
enough
the
to do.
all the
No
bits out,
roll
yeah.
needed. You go through, start clearing it out again. Is there anything you're doing while this is happening, Sephir?
Yeah, just a lot of internal thoughts and
Transforming.
conflict. Oh, really?
While I'm
Transforming.
doing this,
Did you read the?
can I,
Yeah, no, you go.
whilst I'm doing this, is there anything in the wagon, sorry, cart, whatever you want to call it, that would indicate foul play?
No.
Now, knowing what
From
we
what
know
you remember
now,
going, from what
but
knowing what you know
knowing
now.
what we know now,
Yeah, knowing what you know now.
yeah,
Going back through it all, nothing indicates foul play. It seems like it maybe was a staging point.
yeah.
Can I cast grease on the bottles of fire? Just kidding.
Don't, he'll do it. He'll make you do it.
Don't tempt him. Don't tempt him.
Another roll Jamie has to make.
Yeah, because I've done so well at that tonight. I think I've rolled an 8 is my max tonight so far.
And Sephir, and please
Back
roll
to
new
back.
characters, Sephir and Marlon.
Oh, I've been rolling back-to-back fucking natural 20s, man.
Single.
Yeah, true, you're surviving.
I don't know.
Which transforms back into a finger.
Transform.
So, what would everyone like to do as the kind of evening comes around?
Probably make a plan on how we get back to Valkai as quickly as possible. Now that we have a wagon.
After we finish emptying the wagon, I kind of hesitantly kind of sit in the what's my notes? Sit like in the driver's seat and feeling foolish about what I did the first time around, trying to like dispel the wagon or whatever. I sit in the driver's seat and I go, Dorvash, Arvash.
As you say Dorvash, you see this faint glow and you hear a neigh as these two semi-corporeal horses appear attached to the front of the wagon. As you say, and they appear only for moments, as you say Arvash, and they vanish again.
Cool. I looked down at Marlon, like, We got it.
Actually, Marlon's face.
Is that a crow face? Get it?
No,
oh,
I'm a human.
Oh, face. Just kidding.
Cool.
While we're making the nightly preparations and just kind of hanging out, I'm assuming, keeping watch, I would like to catch Sephir kind of on the other side of the room. Not necessarily wanting complete privacy, but enough that it's not all of us standing next to each other.
Am I private?
I may have been seeing things, but there was a moment when you were fighting one of the wolves. Did you bite them?
Maybe.
That's weird. Not a normal thing to do.
Been a lot of weird things in this group.
That's what I was thinking the same. I always thought that I was a very unique, and I am being a hexblood. I felt that I was very strange to this world. But you guys are something very, very different. During that bite, as you pulled back, I could have swore I saw a flash of like really pointy teeth, but maybe I was, again, it happened so quickly, I wasn't sure. And to be honest, it reminded me a bit of those things that we fought above the coffin maker's place.
Yes, well, now that we are no longer in a werewolf den and these kids are, for now, safe, maybe all of us, Marlon and Grangrik included, need to have a bit of a debrief about today's events.
Yeah.
What are they doing at the moment? Are they just chilling?
They're
chilling?
They're over there making
I
out.
think they're just chilling.
Yeah, I would just be making
just how Ben is sitting. Grangrik.
yeah, full slash potato.
Marlon's practicing on the new flute.
Oh God.
Oh God, please do it outside.
Outside on the roof.
Roll me a performance check without disadvantage this time.
Yes.
Just have a regular old performance check.
15.
It's not bad. You're starting to
Bad.
You're trying to get like the idea of an ascending
Yeah.
tone, and it's getting there.
Yeah, cool.
Every now and then you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just be up there playing. If some.
You're up there, or you're outside? You said.
I'm on the roof. Outside on the roof.
How do we?
I got
call
this.
out to you. How do we?
And I'll activate my eerie token that you have. Hey, we need to talk. Can you come down here?
Oh, yep. All right, no worries. I'll come down.
And you feel like this warm sensation from where the hair was in your pocket, and you smell like this singeing of hair as it like destroys itself.
It's only a one-time use thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's really got to work on that, and I'll transform into my raven form and fly in the window.
Ugh, burnt hair.
Yeah.
Stinks.
Not fly into the window. Fly through the window. Sorry.
He just goes. Boom.
All right, you come inside. You are all gathered around. The children have finally gone off to sleep. It takes a bit of time to get them all, but they do all
Oh, yeah.
go off to sleep. Kind of
No,
notably,
it
kind of.
doesn't take that long. I got the sleep spell. Hold on.
That'll do it.
Jesus.
That'll knock them all out.
Honestly, if I knew it wasn't going to hurt them and it was like be helpful, I would
wouldn't.
legitimately be casting sleep.
It
spell.
would not. It doesn't hurt them, so you could straight up just cast sleep on them,
Yeah.
and like you'd hit them all.
Yeah.
Like they're all 1 HP, so like
Oh god.
children.
Gather round.
Well, I'd say one of them has 2 HP. The werewolf has.
The werewolf.
Gather round. Get comfortable. Sleep.
Kablammy.
They're not even aware that you've cast the spell.
Mhm.
Amazing.
Like they're all like getting comfy, and you just like, vroom, and they all just
You just hear
drift
9
off
heads
into
drop.
sleep.
Yeah, I love spell components in in this game.
One of them was still walking to bed.
What is it for?
Can you guess what sleep spell components are?
It's a feather.
Licorice root.
I want it to be like a tooth.
A tooth would have been good. A pinch of sand, so like the Sandman,
Nice.
Sandman,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
cool. That is cool.
or
My-
a
my
or
favorite
rose
one
petals. I'm not
remains-
sure that one.
My favorite one remains detect thoughts.
What's up? Oh,
It's like a small, basically a small coin.
oh yeah,
It's a penny for your thoughts.
Yeah, that's cool.
Goodness.
That is cool.
So
Anyway, have your.
I was talking with Sephir, and we kind of were getting a bit into the deep end of the conversation, and we thought we needed to, I guess, probably discuss
Talk
some
about the
things
days of that.
together. Yeah.
How's everyone feeling, by the way? I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could use some rest.
Mentally. Drained.
Grangrik?
Tired, but a little concerned about this bite.
One of the topics I wanted to talk about, I guess, first and foremost, earlier, Marlon and I, yet again, emptied Esmeralda's caravan of the alchemist fires. And the kind of incantation I tried to speak, I can't remember who heard me do it. Trying to get into the caravan initially, the Dorvash Arvash is actually the incantation to summon the kind of celestial steeds that actually drive the wagon. So we can use that
That's
tomorrow to transport the children.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe between you, Grangrik, and your mount could do it, but I mean that's way better actually.
That's I think that's going to probably we should carry all of us really.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us want to ride like on the top of the wagon, or Anyway, that is solved. So that's good. But yes, I was a bit kind of lost in that fight we had, but I know I've spoken to Grangrik already. I was definitely bitten. I suspect we were all probably bitten at some point during that interaction, but at least with mine, I can feel that it is serious and something that will need to be addressed. Does anyone else feel this way?
No, I think my already taken affliction is I think
You
that
can't.
be can't be taken. I don't think. I was bitten a few times, and I feel fine. So.
Yeah.
I think I'm fine. I don't feel any differently, and I'm definitely, my wounds are beginning to heal. So I think I'm fine.
So it's just Grangrik and myself.
So it would seem.
Well, I told Grangrik that Rudolph actually has a way to deal with this stuff, to help with this stuff. But now that Merlon has had this vision, I'm a little concerned that Rudolph van Ryken will not be at the inn when we get back. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, yeah. Sorry, it's been a really long day.
Mhm.
It's been a really long day. How much of that is true, and how much of that is him trying to send us off our trail? Is
We have to assume that it's true, because the risk that we,
in this case,
yeah,
I think in this case we have to assume that it is true.
obviously be aware and cautious that it could also be a trap. But what else do we do? I mean, we can't not go make sure they're okay. I wanted to ask you, Sephir, about something that I spoke to Rudolph about, and maybe the answer is I just need to speak with Rudolph again. But when we first met Rudolph, I discovered his carriage, not necessarily too unlike your sister's, but this was I guess a home for a creature. I wasn't able to see what it was. Given everything that's going on and kind of the escalation of what Strahd actively seeking us out, would this pet or whatever this thing is that Rudolph has, would it be helpful to us? Or do you even know? Do you know anything of it?
Dale?
Sorry, I was reading something else. Go again.
I asked him.
Here.
Yeah, I asked him about his if he knew if Rudolph's creature that I found that I kind of knew of in that caravan in Valakai would be helpful to us, especially now that Strahd is actively seeking us out.
Enough, you saw a creature, and it seems to be very similar to what Grangrik turns into. It doesn't feel like it would be helpful to anything other than maybe in a fight.
Sure. Okay.
Do I know of this thing? Essentially, Leo was asking me if I knew about it, or what I knew about it, kind of in a way.
You
But
know that he was that he was under a guise and that he had a animal with him. I don't know whether or not you would have bothered to see it.
Okay.
Because it said something.
I don't know.
It said something on the side of it. I can't quite remember exactly what it was, but it said something about deliverance through holy light or radiant light or something, or savior through radiant light. It's just a thought that hasn't quite been able to escape me, but that can be. I thought maybe you might know something of it, but it is what it is.
Rudolph is an extremely private, independent man, grown to be a part of his charm. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. So now that we are all together, there are a few things that have happened quite quickly. And when we first got here, we discovered Esmeralda's wagon. Marlon and I were inside, and I came across some parchment that I did not share with Marlon at the time. It was actually written by Rudolph, and it was nothing that I didn't. There was nothing there that I didn't already know. I suppose it was just in greater detail. But he spoke of, and this is not. If we are to see Rudolph again, I ask that this is not something that you repeat. This is all in his past and quite a painful memory, but maybe relevant some other things. But in this tale, he spoke of his son being kidnapped by some Vistani, Erasmus, with his son's name. Rudolph was he obviously tried to rescue his son. By the time he'd caught up with the Vistani had sold him off to Empire, actually. Rudolph then, in a kind of fit of revenge, murdered the Vistani, to which they cursed him in such a way that just doesn't harm him as much as it does the ones around him and the ones he cares for. Hence why he's a very closed off person. I think he's just afraid that the people that are closest to him would be harmed, and it's kind of turned him into a bit of a recluse, unfortunately. But fate would have it that he would find his son Erasmus, and he had been turned into a vampire, and Rudolph had to cure that curse the only way he knew how, by killing him. Erasmus was my father, actually. And I suspect my mother to have perished a long time ago. It's something that it's hard for me to recall, but for as long as I can remember, I've been under the guidance, the guardianship of Rudolph, as you were aware of, through my studies to become a paladin. And I had this drive to do what was right and what was good and protect people, and I wanted to be the change in the world that I just kept seeing so much evil. It's, as fate would have it, I was met with a kind of similar fate as my father, except I was turned into a kind of hybrid breed of vampire, a Dampier. Rudolph knows this. It's something I don't know who feels more shame about it, myself or him. We're a very secretive, closed off kind of family. He doesn't want to hurt the people around him, and neither do I. But it's tricky.
Yeah, of course, with Strahd ruling this land like he does, I think you would be, if it allowed, you would be drawn and quartered probably. Are there more like you?
I mean, there certainly are. I'm not.
Your sister?
Honestly, I don't know. She
Hmm.
could be. But even as family, there are still secrets between us.
Yeah.
Secrets we keep from other people, but also secrets we keep from each other. I'm not sure.
I feel that a lot.
I try not to draw on the benefits of my condition, though some were observed during that last fight in the werewolf den. I bit one of the wolves, and then I scaled a wall.
Yeah.
I can also breathe underwater. That hasn't come up, but I can do that too. Or I don't need to breathe, I suppose. I think that's the thing.
So I guess when I was referring to you and Merlon, and I guess I mean even Grangrik to some degree, having something imposed on you and that changes you, you probably understand that much more than I could even understand. Do you still feel, is it always something you can control? Like, is there something that we need to worry about?
To a point.
Or to help keep in check to some degree?
I don't imagine it's anything that anyone here needs to worry about. It's kind of my responsibility. But in saying that, there's, I don't think any of you are in any kind of real danger. I think this is why I felt so empathetic towards this young child we have with us who's been turned into a werewolf. But I'd really like to be able to help him with. But that's, I suppose, more my stuff. I might be too biased in a decision such as that. It's just, I have a very strong stance and opinion.
I agree with you completely. I mean, again, being a hexblood myself, it's not something I chose. Doesn't affect me nearly as much as it does you or will him. It draw a lot of power from that, but it's not a risk to others, I guess. So my only apprehension is, like we discussed, I would like to try tonight to maybe glean something from the scroll before we use it. If I cannot, then in the morning I'll use it on him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Grangrik, Merlon, awfully quiet.
What would Merlon know of Dampier? Is that Dampier?
Probably nothing, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's probably not a term. You know of like vampires and vampire spawns, but it's pretty loose thing.
The one who's tried to look at me through a mirror and through a garlic at me and whatever he's done so far.
Yep. All things that.
Wait, didn't he try to? Yeah, I thought you did try to look
Definitely,
at you through a mirror.
Yeah, definitely the mirror thing. And I swear there was something else. There was something else.
I don't think I threw garlic at you.
something.
Whatever it is, like
I believe it was wooden stake related.
wooden stick, yeah.
I think it was wooden stake related.
Cheap little crucifix, just
does this insight feel?
flash me with holy water. Does it insight fear? Yeah.
No,
That's
no.
right.
I was more.
Why are you hitting yourself?
You probably, it's probably not a common enough thing that
Yeah.
you probably don't. It's a foreign thing to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I very much appreciate you being so open. I can only judge you from what I've seen of you and your actions of yours when you've been with us, and I have no quarrel. Um, I'm very, very proud to be able to call you a companion on this trip. You've helped us in numerous ways, and yeah, I'm more than happy to fight by your side moving forward. But I appreciate you sharing this.
Keep your secret.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I know
I
you
appreciate that.
said it's your burden to bear, but
Doesn't have to be just yours.
yeah, if we can aid. The transformed are here for you.
It's the other curse of my family to never ask for help.
Hmm.
Stubbornly independent.
Okay. As the night. Anything else that people want to discuss, or?
Grangrik still love me.
No, you disgust me. As one who transforms myself, I don't have the right to judge anyone. So, of course.
Okay.
I would, before we go to sleep, I would probably just pull Grangrik aside, or just have a minute with Grangrik. Hey, you know, you probably don't know a lot of what was happening when you were, you know, almost dead, and then in the jaws of
True.
of one of those werewolves. Leo spoke to me about, you know, not gambling with your lives, and whilst I understand what she's saying, I would die for you to make sure that you were going to be safe. You have done lots for me. I will do my best to make sure that we don't put you in that sort of situation again. But if it comes to you or me, I'm gonna choose to make sure that you get out.
That is a very nice thing to say, Marlon. But as you can see, I'm quite old and have lived quite a full life. And I am well aware of the idea of that I'm not going to live forever. So, of course, that being said, I do not want to die, and would very much
Very fair.
not like to be in that position again. But
Everyone's going to
if
pass
it
me asleep. Oh, God.
do I start rolling D100?
Death saving throws every time you sleep. Does he wake up?
If it comes down to a question of you or me, I don't want you to feel like you must come and save me, because I knowingly stepped into this life and was aware of the consequences that came with it. So please know that if a situation like that comes up again, and if there is a choice between either you saving the group or just even yourself and me, please don't put your life on the line. But again, you are your own person, and you will ultimately make your own decisions.
Thank you.
Now leave me alone. I need to go to sleep.
Grumpy old fart.
All right. The night drifts on, maybe with a couple other chats here or there, but you all head to sleep knowing that you've got a lot to think about and there's a lot going on at the moment. You awaken in the morning, relatively early,
Take a long rest.
and everyone gains all benefits of a long rest, and you all level up.
Yes.
I think Leo would have had a pretty restful sleep. Not one that's not like doesn't let her get rest, but I think she had dreams of the things that happened when she was with her mother growing up, and thinking about the words that Sephir spoke, talking about being afflicted and not it being his choice. And she wakes up in the middle of the night and she approaches the boy, and she kneels down next to him, and then she's, without touching him, she's just kind of looking him over and studying him a little bit and being contemplative. And after some time, she, uses the spell scroll on him while he's sleeping, so that he doesn't have to essentially start another day with that affliction on him.
I have a passive perception of 18. Would I have heard that happen?
You are sleeping,
Yeah.
I assume. Give me a second.
I would have been.
It is verbal, so it depends how hard you're sleeping.
I mean, probably
And-
I'm asleep. I'm just wondering
And
how much do I hear when I'm asleep?
And I would be saying it loud enough for the spell to work. I'm definitely not shouting it.
You're not shouting it, but you're also not whispering.
Yeah, I'm not trying to conceal the fact that I'm doing it necessarily either. I mean, I don't want to wake people up unnecessarily.
I don't think the kids wake up. They're all still magically. They got magically put to sleep, and they were being exhausted after what's happened. You may wake anyone that rolls high enough to wake up. Roll me a dice if you want to see if you wake up, and if you just think you're sleeping through it, just
7.
you stay asleep.
No, I think he's right.
I've rolled awfully tonight.
You have.
Was he still in werewolf form when he was sleeping that night?
Yes.
So does he?
He shifts as soon as you cast it.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as the spell goes off, you kind of lay your hand on him as you finish the spell, and you see him revert back into his human form.
And he looks differently than the others. I think he was the one that was from Water. No, the lady was from Waterdeep.
The little girl I spoke to was from Waterdeep.
Oh.
You do note he doesn't look like the others. In fact, the first thing you probably notice is that as he shifts, his skin is very dark.
Oh.
And you have not seen a single person like that in Barovia.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's concerning.
What are we going to do with these kids?
Take him back
Put
to
'em to work.
Valakai.
Yeah.
And
Put them in a
they
sweatshop.
Where in, yeah, where in,
So the ones that
Let's make
are
some
from
money.
Barovia can go back
Yeah,
to
I
their
left a lot of
families or their,
jewels in that
their
den.
cities. And the ones that are from the Sword Coast, hopefully we can take them back once we go back.
Okay. So, the morning comes around. As you all awaken, probably before most of the children, you look over and see that all the kids are now in human forms. The one that was kind of sleeping off to the side a little bit from the others, as they were a little bit scared of him still, now sits there and holds his little... Leo, as you approach, you probably would have seen it, a little doll of you that is like uncanny, like it looks eerily like you. Like, it's not perfect, but it's
Yeah,
quite
but-
clearly an imitation of you.
That's very concerning.
Hmm. I'll clock that. And
Yeah. But yeah, you awaken and set about the day. I imagine it's a case of waking up the kids and getting some food, and then it's going to be a pretty speedy transit. Is that the goal?
Yeah, I think to hurry back if we can. Sephir, do you
I'll
feel
do the
like
same.
this is, quick travel? Like, I mean, are we going to be able to make a short time of the road on the road?
It's going to be the most effective way to travel. So, yeah.
And I know we kind of fucked up the plan last time, and I do kind of apologize for that because we've given a little bit of mixed signals. But with these kids, I know there's probably some relative safety inside the caravan, but if there's something along the road, let's just try to book it past. We can deal with it after the fact if we need to return. Because we will be
Sounds good to
going
me.
back past the bridge where those revenants were, and I mean, this place is insane with danger. Let's just...
I'll do Overwatch again on the way.
Sure.
I think I'm fast enough while I'm flying to...
Would you like another hair?
That might be good.
Boink! Here you go.
That.
So you begin the travel back. It is a relatively simple journey. You know the way. You will kind of pile all the kids inside of the carriage, in or on top of, as whatever it takes.
I would make room for them in. I'm not going to sit inside the carriage with them if it was me or them on top. Like, get them in there, and I'll ride on top.
Yeah, so you can get them all in there, squeeze them all in. Not like overly spacious, but it'll work. The boy wakes up and is very cheerful at not being in form anymore. And he's like, "Is it done? Is it gone?"
I think so. I did use what I think would help you. How do you feel? Do you feel better?
I think I feel better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And he looks down at his doll and then looks up at you and kind of has that realization. It's like, you must be some hero, and kind of walks over to the others.
Oh.
Spinning that rat pen. That you...
No?
Yeah.
But you all get into the and get on your way. Is there anything anyone wants to do along the way or in the morning before you get going?
No.
Nope.
I don't think so.
All right. So you journey back. It is a relatively quiet road, and you don't pass many people usually. Like there was a couple people maybe that you crossed paths with. As you're going this time, there is no one coming from Valakai. Only people traveling to only like the occasional, probably one or two people that you cross going towards it that are maybe just like a small group of Vistani or this group of kind of almost soulless looking people. These people that have just kind of seem to wander that you've seen throughout. As you get closer to closer to the city, you can you start to be able to see the town come into view. Go past the farms, which seem to be yielding some half decent crops.
Nice.
Farmers hard at work in the yard as they do their work, and as kind of the day draws on, because it is a decent journey back. As you're about 100 meters from, a few hundred meters from, you see a tree in front of you. A tree that you've passed multiple times on your way in and out. Hanging from that tree, you see a figure.
No.
As you approach closer and closer, you see with a wooden plaque hanging off his feet. Going up, you see the lifeless eyes of the Burgermeister. With a sign that says, "Traitor, betrayer, who led us astray." And as you've approached and gotten closer, you can smell faint smell of smoke and burning. Of smoke, not burning, sorry, just of smoke.
What
As
do I
he's
see it from the sky?
From the sky, as you've approached, as you've gotten closer, you've kind of been up high enough to see this kind of smoke kind of loosely rising as if it's from an old fire. You notice that it's coming from the center of town. And as you've gotten closer and closer, you notice that there is no longer a blue water inn. There is simply a smoldering wreckage in the center of town. And I think we're going to leave it there for today.
Yeah, fucking.
Oh man.
Yeah, I got goosebumps. The person hanging from a tree.
Thought it was Rudolph. Some Ranrikton.
So did I. I thought I was gonna rip too. This has to mean that the.
I was about to hit the
the
quickest, spare the dying, just in case.
Yeah, fuck the Burgermeister.
I mean,
TBH, I'm still gonna try for it.
we need allies though. Like, and it seemed like the two allies we have had shit happen to them. I mean, we don't know what's going on with Rictavio yet. We know for sure the Burgermeister's toasted and the Blue Water Inn is smoked. Merlon?
Roasted and smoked.
Marlon, the last thing you say before we go to break is Marlon fly. Like
Flying ahead.
as fast as you can imagine him flying.
I'm in my raven form, by the way, not hybrid.
Mhm.
But I am.
Ooh.
Damn.
I wasn't sure where I wanted to end it, but since this is when we've gotten here,
Yeah.
I think this is a
It's a good point.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm excited to get in a fight because I'm about to smack people very hard with my new level up.
Nice.
Yeah,
I've no joke gone from like 2 dice a hit to 5 dice a hit.
5.
Yeah. So normally, for example, on a like saber-tooth tiger, it's 2d6 plus 4 for a rend attack, and it has multi-attack. Now I get, with the use of a level 4 spell, 2d6 radiant damage, and primal strike for 1d8 fire, cold, lightning, or thunder. So now for one attack, 4d6 plus 4 plus a d8, and then if I hit both,
It's
I
double.
get 2 lots.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
So now I
nice.
can do some decent damage now.
Hey, how you doing there, Joel? You look a little mortified.
What are you talking about?
There's just so much that could still happen. Oh my god.
Eviscerate Nikolai. I am going to eviscerate him.
Nikolai?
Nikolai.
Dude,